Ciao, darlings. Happy Scorpio season. Happy full moon eclipse in Taurus. Happy abundances. Happy portal. Happy soul purpose. Happy, happy, happy. I've been feeling like I've had this stress for years. I don't know if, I'm gonna be doing my best to set up the camera in a way, I feel like there's so much that I don't get to share with you as far as the tarot cards and the tea and the whole table setup. So I definitely am in need of someone who can help me with my movie magic. But as we get going, that will definitely be required. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Sarah, if we have not met. Welcome to my multidimensional cafe. This is your chair right over here where you sit and we talk about astrology, we talk about tarot, we talk about leadership, personal growth, different things. You know, I am a mystic and a healer, a light worker, a starseed. My consciousness came from a different time and space to come down and play human in this avatar during the time of the awakening to really help you make sense of all this, the woo-woo and the spiritual mumble jumble and the jargon and things like that. But, my human credentials is that I came from corporate, I came from leadership and training teams. I've been in service my whole life and been a corporate trainer for the better part of 10 years. And since I can never go back into the system and go back into the matrix, I'm here to help you as you kind of wake up and come out of that and become your most authentic self. So it's an honor to be here in this eclipse portal. It's kind of wild and cuckoo pants, and I am so honored to be here. It's the most and I use the term God brazenly around here, and I use the term biblical pretty brazenly. So if these terms are triggering for you, definitely rebrand them. So anytime I say God, think universe, think spirit, think whatever is all. God, Goddess, all there is. And when I use the term biblical, it's more so if we know that astrology and the wheel is just history, math, and patterns, and we know that history repeats itself, we're in times that are so powerful and so poignant and so massive that the term that I use is biblical, because that just means to me, my human avatar, when she hears the term biblical, is oh, this is written in the stars. This is written within the book. This is written within, and we can deep dive down every single rabbit hole when it comes to the human beings that run any of these systems are pretty freaking corrupt, and we all know that. But loving up on God and being a child of God and really loving Jesus and his teachings and knowing that you are safe and protected and amidst this entire very confusing time. Those are words and terms that for me, when I've been in my very dark spaces, have done some really powerful things. So that's why I use them, and I understand that, when we say, think of the word spelling. I'm spelling my spells. So when I say things, they are. And I loved the leadership lens, where I want you to think of any time you declare something. This is on a podcast I seen a while ago. Just think of the universe, God, saying, got it. I'm gonna have a shitty day today. Got it. I'm gonna find a parking spot wherever the frick I go. Got it. My money finds me effortlessly. Got it. It flows to me like water. Got it. My title defines me. So I'm going to give you a moment to grab your coffee or tea, grab whatever it is that you would like to ingest. Please grab a journal if you're keen. And definitely, I have had some ideas about, starting maybe a Zoom call or doing something as far as bringing your woo-woo to the table and a space for you to ask questions. So please, if anyone is ever interested in something small group, something I have a space locally that I can hold space for others, and I do one-on-one sessions there. But for my community here, I would just love to start a dialogue with you that how can I best serve you? How can I best serve you in a small, one-on-one or small group way? I just wanted to start a little dialogue here, since we're not really creating so much and we're releasing certain things within our full moon capacity. We still have to look at this like a full moon, but we just got to look at it as not really like what my human wants to release, but what my soul wants to release. Like we're going to talk about some tarot, we're going to talk about some personal development, and then as I get going, I'm just going to see what my guides have to say, because they come through pretty brazenly as I'm channeling here for these videos. So please take a little pause. I'm going to use this little guy for the pause. He's a little froggy frog. Hangs out with Jeffrey. This is Jeffrey. Actually, I don't have a name for him. Who wants to name him? Yeah. Somebody, anybody, if you want to comment below, and definitely like the names that you really do like, because it's really, so we all know, I'll tell this story super duper quick. We all know that my guide, his name's Jeffrey. This is Jeffrey. But I didn't name him Jeffrey. I asked a fellow coworker of divine Pisces, I was like, what do you think his name is? I was carrying around my pocket one day, and she looked at him and just goes, Jeffrey. So for the pause, it's a little froggy. Pause the video, go grab your things. Share my life. I've been singing like it's my job. Just got full chills on that one. So we'll talk about that later. Let's get into the notes that I have first, and then we'll deep dive. So this full moon eclipse is happening in the sign of Taurus at 5 degrees. So when we have the new moon, which we just had in the sign of Libra, it's when the sun and the moon are conjunct together, the same degree in the sky. And when we have a full moon, they're opposite each other. So the moon, super duper bright in the sky, highlighting something that's normally on full moons, it's like, what am I missing? It can feel like the rug's getting pulled out from under you. You walk in on somebody talking gossip about you. Those are normal full moon activities where you just like the brightness of the moon is shining and highlighting something that maybe you've missed. For full moon eclipses, and I'm going to highlight the work of Pam Gregory, an incredible astrologer, because although astrology is my lens, it is not my full lens. It is not my full teaching and my full scope. I'm definitely like a pyramid, like a triangle, a triad of things. I just want, oh God, I lost my train of thought on this one. This eclipse portal is raking me over the coals, definitely so. For good, beautiful things. For beautiful, beautiful reasons. When things happen during eclipse time, it's written, it's meant to be. That's what I was going to say. Eclipses, and within those time periods, if you've strayed off course, the universe is going to slap you right back to it and remove things and remove people from your life that really are not meant for your highest timeline, for your highest and greatest good. And that also means, my guides want to highlight this, that always also means that you are not there for their highest and greatest timeline. You are not for their highest and greatest good. This is not selfish activities. So if even the human avatar of someone, I'll speak from I statements. I had someone that I had put into my inner circle. I had to remove them from my inner circle this week. And I am so grateful for them. I'm so grateful for the lessons. I'm so grateful for the time that we have. I always romanticize the beginnings as well as the endings of friendships and relationships, because that means that that person can now go find one of their nearest and dearest. There's a space at that table now. So it doesn't really matter, and especially as light workers, we kind of, or not even just light workers, as archetypes. Sometimes we are there to let the lesson happen, but we're cognizant of the fact that we're kind of just like a player in the game. So you can just show up and just shine your light just by existing. And if somebody has something to say that's negative about it, just know that that's like the coming out of them that had to come up. And you see it and you're just like, wow, I love you, but I'm taking steps away from it. But it highlighted the guk for them. And now they get to clean the guk. How fucking cool is that? How fucking cool is that? So there's sun and the moon in opposition of each other. And I'm highlighting the work of Pam Gregory because she goes down every single astrological, beautiful rabbit hole. It is so beautifully put. It is so well said. And because I very rarely talk about the sextiles and the trines and, you know, all these different things, and she speaks so beautifully of the dwarf planets and all that jazz, I want to highlight her work. But there's one other opposition that's happening by degree, and I just want to highlight that. Because what do we know about oppositions when it's just the sun and the moon? Just the sun and the moon. Highlighting things. It's like you're facing it head on, and dealing with it head on. And it's not so much that they like triangle shapes, the trines, they flow together. The sextiles, they flow together. Oppositions is kind of a little bit like polarizing, if you will, like the two back ends of the magnets, and they don't really clap. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So the other two planets that are in opposition are Mars over here at 11 degrees of Scorpio. But honest to goodness, it's like we have Mercury at 10 degrees of Scorpio, but I have Jupiter down here. Can we see? I'm gonna have to move your chair for a minute. Pardon me, honey. Jupiter right over here, this big guy, he's at 11 degrees of Taurus, and he's retrograde. So what do we know about Jupiter? What do we know about Mars? We'll give a little, honestly, with Mercury, I just feel like, and with the tarot cards that I pull, I'll show those to you guys later, and the tarot cards that really represent this decan of the astrological wheel, like, we know better. There's something going on. Whatever's happening in your life, we can't really play dumb anymore. I want you to start to have, this is coming to me now. Thank you so much to my guides. I love when they show me these beautiful pictures. So if I'm ever like talking to you, but I'm looking over here, it's because like they give me like my like a chalkboard and they're just writing things down for me. It's really, really cool. I also have my guides tattooed on my arm. I'm going to do a whole video on that. And because like I utilize their view as like my playbook. It's like I'm the quarterback, and like they give me the message right here. So like I look at where they are and then they give me the message. It's super duper cool. And I'm so grateful that I can understand and connect with them in so many different ways. It's exceptional. But so, oh my goodness, I completely lost my train. I'm sorry, guides. It's the eclipse. And so I'm doing my absolute best to just like keep my human on track and just keep on riding the waves. So that's what I was going to say. Mercury is telling us that we know better. The tarot cards are telling us that we know better. There's this, that's what my guides want. I want you to start to spend some time, whether it be doing mirror work, or you can even record yourself. Like I have infinite videos of just Sarah, hi, it's me, Sarah from the past videos. So however you need to communicate with yourself, I would highly implore you to do it. And you can even do it when you're driving home from work or after a moment, but talk it out. Talk to yourself. Say, okay, I kind of felt really weird during this moment, and this really was happening in a strange way, and this was happening in a strange way. I don't really know what was happening here. This really felt awkward, and when that was happening, I had this like really weird feeling in my chest, but now I feel bliss-filled. And then when I listen to this music, it's really delicious and wonderful, and I listen to this music, and I just kind of want to like do really fucked up things that I don't really want to do anymore that I used to do when I was really listening to that music. It's all connected. It's all connected. So talk to yourself more, or talk to your VIP, your inner circles. Dude, okay. I think it was in Taurus season. I'm going back to my notes. Hold on a tick. We had a full moon in Scorpio at 14 degrees. Okay, I kind of think that the title of that video was Trust No One, Including Me. So this is interesting that we're having like the opposition of that, because truly I want you to pretend as you are out in the world that you're just on safari. And that when things happen, your boss says something to you, a coworker, a colleague, you know, family members, whomever, utilize the term interesting. Yes, oh, I know that you need a response from me, but I'm going to go home and I'm going to think about it and then I'm going to respond. That to me is what Mercury is doing in this mix, off by degree, because I really just want to highlight Mars opposite Jupiter. Mars, our assertive planet. It's like our masculine energy, our anger, aggressive. If Venus is our yin, this is our yang. Mars in the sign of Scorpio likes being in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio was run by Mars and Pluto, so it's happy there. And everything that we learned when Mars was in passive-aggressive Libra over here, not that Libra is passive-aggressive, but Mars in the sign of Libra, because Libra is run by Venus, is passive-aggressive. It's not comfortable there. So I just wanted to highlight that. I in no way think that Libras are passive-aggressive. They can be very direct when they need to be. So I just needed to correct myself there. And what do we know about Jupiter? Jupiter is our gregarious planet. It's our luck be a lady tonight. And it's just, I'm sorry, I might even just put it on. I told y'all for Scorpio season to show up. I don't even know if I can. Can I do it? I just don't want to hit the mic. Okay, cool. I should have done the entire video like this. I know. Actually, it's funny because I have a purple one and I was like, that's too ostentatious there, but it's smaller than this one, so I'm just going to keep going. Let's continue. So Jupiter is our gregarious planet. It's our planet of abundance, of love and luck and all good things. It's a really lovely, beautiful, benevolent planet. And it's been in the sign of Taurus for a little while now, and it's retrograde at 11 degrees. 11, 11. 11, 11. See? Angel numbers. Everything is connected. And so Jupiter has been retrograde in the sign of Taurus. It's been retrograde for a little while now. So Sarah, what does that mean? It just means that maybe money has been slow. It means that certain things that you really thought that your ego wanted and needed are like, actually, no, I don't. Yes, I value myself, and yes, I value money, and yes, I value safety and wealth and comfort. But if I'm up there alone in the glass tower, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, I believe I'm going to have this be the title of the video, but I haven't referenced it yet until 16 minutes in. So I'm just want to highlight this was a movie from many years ago. And I haven't watched movies in a long time. I mean, save everything Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, honest to goodness. That's just been like literally my wheelhouse right now. Like literally on repeat, whether it's the extended versions or the cartoon versions of like any of them, it's like, that's like me falling asleep. I'm like, oh, everything's fine and wonderful and lovely. But so I wanted to highlight this movie. It's called Blow with Johnny Depp. And there was a quote from the father that just said, money isn't real, George. Money isn't real. And everything on this planet is energy. So that quote was actually pretty metaphysical, philosophical, if you will. Because yes, when you love yourself and you love and have gratitude for everything around you, money flows to you like water. You make money when you sleep. Something happens and it just it's so lovely and beautiful and wonderful. And there are also, a lot of really crappy people who've acquired money in really crappy ways. No judgment at all. Actually, when it comes to like the sex trafficking ring and pedos, I definitely have some serious judgments there. So I think that that's biblical, but that's just my personal opinion. And if you would like more of my personal human stories, definitely go check out my Waking Up Post Woke series that I've been putting out there. And I'm speaking very directly about certain demonic things that are going on. So that's super cool. But let's get back to the astrology of it. So money isn't real. Full moon eclipse, 5 degrees of Taurus. I'm super sorry, guys. I know that I was going to tell you all the dates right away, but I did not. I'm just saying. So Eastern Standard Time, Gloucester, Massachusetts. This is happening on the 28th of October at 16:23. I'm teaching you some military time. Central Time, this is happening on the 28th at 15:23. And for the Gold Coast in Australia, this is happening on the 29th of October at 6:23. So when it comes to the astrology, every person, every area, everybody on the planet gets a full moon eclipse exact. It just matters the moment where the sun and the moon are completely in opposition of each other at 5 degrees. At 5 degrees. So definitely go back and watch, if you have not already, my Scorpio season introductory video. That was a fun one. We're really showing up. And I can't even tell you, I'm going to do an entire video on really like the end and the death of therapy and the beginning of wisdom. Like having a healer or a spiritual counselor or someone like myself to hold space for you is the new way. It truly is. It truly is. So I'm just going to highlight that. I'm just going to leave that. I'm just going to plant that seed there because I know I have a few different videos for y'all to record. And it's just pouring out of me. I'm just really enjoying myself. So I apologize if I'm getting off track a little bit. But so I'd say, since just this is the general wheel that starts over at Aries and it goes all the way over to Pisces, I'll highlight all of our key players. We have Pluto direct over here in the sign of Capricorn. It's scooting forward and it will never be at 27 degrees of Capricorn again for any of our lifetimes. Any of our lifetimes again. It's a few 100-year cycle. So that's going to outlive all of us. So whatever is happening in Capricorn, whatever you have in the late decan of Capricorn, it'll start to squeeze out a little bit. It'll start to ease up and you'll feel a little bit of like that pressure cooker feeling, that expectancy, that why can't I get anything fucking right? Why can't I do anything within my life that makes any fucking sense? And now it's going to be like, oh, that tiny little thing that I did like 6 months ago actually bared fruit. So fucking cool. I thought I was in trauma and then that happened. No, but it was just as effortlessly as breathing. So that's exciting. That's pretty cool. We have Saturn over here at 0 degrees of Pisces. It's going to be going direct. When I was looking forward and I was thinking like, when is the next major transit? November 4th is when Saturn goes direct in Pisces. So although it's at 0 degrees of Pisces, it's never going to go back into Aquarius again for 29 years. So 29 years. So that's going to feel a little bit interesting. I'll probably do an entire video on that. If you're keen for more information, it's far back. I think it's March. It was Saturn in Pisces. Mental health is no joke right now. So I'll just highlight that video and you can scroll. That's for free on my YouTube channel. So I'll leave that there. Neptune's been in Pisces for a little while retrograde. I'm not going to talk about that. Same with Uranus right over here. Chiron right over here we have in the sign of Aries. The North Node and the South Node are finally kind of like chilling by themselves in this axis. And we have Venus, I don't know if you can see, right over here in the sign of Virgo. And we have Black Moon Lilith in the sign of Virgo right over here. And I've been playing with the mean and the true Black Moon Lilith. So I definitely like, although before it was over here, it's in the sign. It's in the sign over here, which is just kind of like, I need your woo-woo out there. I just genuinely do. Like there's no oversaturated market. There is no, in any capacity. I was chit-chatting with a cafe friend today before I was heading off to my human job. And it just serendipitously happened that I was not at my human job today and I was able to be here with you. And, he was saying like, I have all these people in my life that are asking me and, very divine masculine, and his divine masculine friends are asking him questions and asking him about all these philosophical things and all this stuff. I'm like, well, why aren't you charging money to hold space for them? Like you're incredibly powerful, like light worker and metaphysician. Like, why wouldn't you like start to like just charge money for that? Because it'll start to just unconsciously drain you. When it's time for you to be stepping into your role as a light worker, as someone who holds space for others, I don't care what capacity it is that you want to do it in. Like, this is a little off topic, guys, I'm sorry. But like, there's no oversaturation. There are literally billions of people on the planet that are so confused, and need assistance and need help and need someone who actually can offer them sound advice. That might be you. That might be you. Get that imposter syndrome out of your head right now. So I'm not going to say everything that I talked about in the Scorpio season video because we already really talked about like this is the lions and tigers and bears portion of the chart. It's just like it's for any Scorpio sun, moon, and rising, it just feels a little bit like I know I look great. I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, everyone else is seeing things as they actually are. This is how I live normally. Yeah. Oh, I look great. Thank you. It's a little... I'm asking my guides. They're like, it's spooky sexy. It's my whole video that I already put out there. I don't need to repeat myself. Full moon over here. What do we know about the second house? Money, please. Access to resources. This is literally like values. What are your top 5 values? Maybe make a note. And since the last time we talked about it, they might have changed. money, honesty. I'd say integrity, but that can be very, I'd want something else like really top tier comfort. That's something else. Or if you want to have something like integrity, like what is your integrity? You know, for some people, I'll give just like a corporate example. For some people, integrity would be every hour, the end of the hour, they would respond back to all of their texts, emails, whatever it may be. For some people, their integrity is end of day, respond back to calls, texts, emails. For some people, wait until it flows. Wait until you can respond. Wait until that feels like I know what it is that I need to say to that. And that might not make sense to people. And that's okay. Because if my vibe doesn't match with their vibe, then it's not the vibe. You know? Like you can have a classic pianist and then you can have someone that's like really playing like some like country music. You can definitely remix those things together, but those two players, it's not the vibe. You know what I mean? And that's okay. Neither of them are wrong. That's just not the vibe. So if integrity is something that you're working on, and integrity is something that I'm definitely working on as well, and own that integrity and own that. If I say, you know, like if I get back to someone by a certain time and they're very frustrated and they were very like this and this and this and this, then I've shone a light onto something that is really showing that like this isn't aligning. And that's okay. And that's beautiful. So like find your integrity, find what it is for you and own it. But I'd say like, what are your top 5 values? When I was really thinking about this video the past few days, I wanted to paint a little bit of a dramatization for you. And I'm going to just wrap in a little bit of the tarot right now because I do small groups and I also do events like tarot parties, birthday parties, weddings, all different things, retreats. Like, so please, my email address is always listed below. Please reach out directly to book me for those. I'm booking for December right now, if anyone is interested. I have a few dates left around Thanksgiving time. I'm going to be doing some things local in Gloucester, but I'm booking for December right now. So if anyone is keen, please email me directly and we can book some dates for that. And you can ask any questions. But more often than not, when someone sits down at my table to pull cards, the first thing that they say is, I don't know how to shuffle. I don't know how to do this. I'm going to mess it up. And I'm like, you've never done it before. There's no way you can mess it up. You can literally throw them on the ground and it's fine. If any tarot reader, or pardon me, I, in my practice, do not think that you could mess that up. I know that there are many tarot readers that only pull cards with them facing one way. They don't let their clients touch their cards. My own healer, I don't touch the cards. So there's no judgment in any capacity, but when you come to my table, there's no way you can mess it up. It's also, there are no negative cards. I'll show you. We're in Scorpio season, right? Everybody goes through Scorpio season. Everybody has, a portion of their chart that is run by Scorpio, right? The Scorpio card in the tarot is this. Yeah, it is. And we have to remember, my dear, that white rose that death carries is behind everything. None of us get out alive. It's a simulation. I've got 2 really good videos on death. I've actually got a bunch of videos on death. So please, I'll highlight the death is different nowadays. Video. So whenever you come up and you see these different things in a reading, what do you think? Every Scorpio season you're going to die? No, you're not. You're going to live. But maybe a version of you is a really old snake skin that you've been wearing for a long time, and it's time to just become yourself. Maybe rebranded as an ego death. Maybe rebranded as anything. But I want you to face it. Can you see the little kiddo? Like the innocence of a child. The priest is like I'll do whatever you want as long as I get a seat at the table. This exasperated woman is, I had no idea this was coming. Oh my, yes you did, girl. You became human. That this little kiddo is excited, curious, in wonderment, as children are supposed to do. That was my personal stuff coming out. Sorry, guys. But so I've already highlighted in the Scorpio season video that this is the first decan. This card runs the first decan of the, 1 to 10 degrees of Scorpio. And we've already chatted about this, so definitely I'll highlight that for the video. Good times, good times. This is the card that it runs 1 to 10 degrees of Taurus. And so our full moon eclipse is at 5 degrees. So this is what we're talking about right over here. And I want you to maybe jot down in your journal as you're here with me, like what your first thoughts were. First thoughts. You know, in certain tarot books, it's, you know, first images, loss, you know, recovery. Oh, you know, I'm out destitute. Car broke down and I lost my job and everything's happening. And oh my goodness. And oh, it's terrible and everything's bad. And it's very woe is me, that exasperated woman. But I want you to look at that church. It's to me, again, because like I said at the beginning of this video, I say God brazenly. So for me, the archetype that I see is a church. There are no doors. No doors. And they're persevering together. So these seeming establishments, I see y'all, they don't want you in there. They don't. They want you bickering and fighting and dead outside. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Just saying. Prove me wrong. So if the astrology is telling us to look at our values, if the astrology is telling us to look at our money, if Jupiter is really showing us that, like, if money is not always there, how do you act? What do you do? Are you in fear? Are you in this vibration? Are you in this manic space of like, what the fuck am I going to do? How am I going to get anything? Blah, 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 blah. Pretend you received all the money in the world. Or whatever is infinity for you, $1 billion. And then pretend you lost it all. How would you act? You're the same person in every single step. You're the same motherfucker every single step of the way. That was my crow being like, whoop, whoop. Palavras certas. It's a Portuguese phrase. I comment sometimes on that one. And it just means right words. It means when you say something or you're thinking something and you stub your toe, or if there's a car alarm goes off or something, that's God just being like, listen, listen, listen. So, or if I say to you, like, when you get I hand you $1 billion right now, what would you do? What would you do today, tomorrow, the next day? Play it out. Play it out. You know, I asked that question of the day once to my restaurant team, and I was like, if I handed you $1 billion right now, would you finish the shift? It was at the beginning of the day, and I called the morning, and it's like 2, 3 in the afternoon. And, you know, the youngsters and the older staff, they're like, no, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. Myself and the other millennials, legit, so traumatized. We're like, no, we'll finish the shift. Yeah, absolutely. And then we'll give a month notice just to make sure that everything's okie dokie. Like, if you died tomorrow, your job would replace you within 48 hours, 72 tops. I'm sorry. None of us are meant to do more than our soul's calling. That's all I have to say about that. So if I handed you those billions of dollars, how would you feel? How would you look at yourself in the mirror? Would you be different? Would you feel blessed? Would you feel worthy? Would you feel lovely? What would you do? Would you quit your job? Would you leave your spouse? Would you, start taking music lessons or, change your hairstyle? What would you do? What would that wealthy version of you do? How'd they act? They'd walk a lot slower, I think. It would not have road rage. I'm sorry, if you're happy and you're contented with yourself, like you just don't give a fuck. If somebody needs to go around you, let them go around you. That's fine. Like, I'm like, literally, whenever you're driving, like late at night down the highway, and there's a tiny little car that's going the speed limit, maybe 3 over, and you're just like going up on them, why don't you get out of the way? I want you to pretend that that's me, because it is. I can't see anything with your glaring high beams in my glasses. I was just trying to get home safe. Just go around me, please. I'm like, please just go around. You're really fancy lights and your really fancy car. I can't see. Just, I was just saying. I'm sorry. I have so much fun with you guys and gals. Okay. So, think of the characteristics of that wildly successful, wildly abundant being. And then pretend that you lost it all. What components, sorry, my guides are coming through. What components of the first image are not real and are an I told you so? And what version of the second image of you homeless and penniless is actually your real soul essence? Because the second you, yes, humble and humility are some things that are really incredible, and pride are incredible things too, but no need to exasperate them. No need to exasperate them. And now they'd like to paint a picture. What if every single person on the planet had infinite time and infinite money? Money was a Star Trek box that you just go boop, 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 boop on your wall, and any amount of money in denomination that you need comes through. Everybody had infinite time. Everybody had infinite money. So there would be no status symbols. There'd be health and energy and community. And no one would want. And everyone would find their proper soul tribe, because there would be no fear in their heart as they made loving decisions. So as you step into the eclipse portal, pretend, if you must at first, that you are the king and queen that you are, and that you have any amount that makes you feel royal. And everyone else around you is equally as royal and equally as worthy. I'm asking if there's any last messages, and they just say, check up on your finances and view your books, however that looks, as if you have it all. And call them as if you are, and speak as if you are. Never diminish yourself or find shame in how few pennies you have. Everyone is worthy, and soon everything will be known. So I'm just going to take a sip of water. I'm going to share something super quick. So the past few days, my work has been on the fact that not everybody channels, apparently. I guess that's a few people on the planet thing. Like, I am honored to be one. It's very intimidating is the wrong word. It's like having my guides come in and speak through my voice is an absolute incredible honor and a gift. But for my human Sarah, I never know when and how, like if that's appropriate to share here or things like that. And so I'm stepping into I'm claiming and really harnessing the fact that I am a channel and that I get these really powerful messages, and I'm able to share them here with you. I did not expect to trance out for a few moments just there. So I'm just grateful for you being here. And so I recognize that that's not fully like a normal thing. I went for a walk with my friends the other day, and we ended up sitting at this beach for a few moments, and I was just sitting meditating, and she was doing some yoga. It was a blessed Sunday, and we were just kind of chit-chatting and processing. And so the goddess Athena had walked out of the water and had given me a blessing, and we connected, and it was really powerful and really lovely. She put a crown on my friend, and it was just really, really special. And the more I've been stepping into my divine femininity and really claiming that as my true divinity, I've had Mother Mary, I've had Athena, I've had a lot of goddesses, and Green Tara has been an altar of mine for a very long time. I, have a Sakyant tattoo. Like, Buddhism is very important to me, and but my altar is becoming so divine feminine, and so I was just like. And I had mentioned to her, I was like, oh my God, Athena just came out of the water. She put a crown on you and stuff. And my friend is just so loving and compassionate and wonderful. And just was like, that's great. And then I was telling some people at the restaurant, and they're like, no, Sarah, that does not happen to everybody. That's a beautiful gift that you're receiving. So as that is my present to you is to give back and to offer more of that to you. So please comment any questions or any of that. So I'm just... That's just a little bit of me and my normal capacities and things like that. So with that parable that my guides really just eloquently put together for all of us, which I'm so grateful for, I'm just going to parlay over into the tarot cards that I had pulled for this reading before we got started. So this one was the first one that came out, which was really like Eight of Pentacles, really enjoying what you're doing for work and enjoying. And I've spoken before, there's a great podcast Lewis Howes does, The School of Greatness, and I couldn't speak more highly of. He's had so many divine beings on that show. And I forget who it was that spoke about this, but as high performers and high achievers, we must attach the dopamine to the process and not the final win. Because if with the parable that my guides just gave us, the win, if we attach the dopamine to the win, that's you getting the billions of dollars and nobody else has it. Which is your ego. If it's competitive, it's like, I need to have all of this to show those people that they don't have anything. But you know better. You know better. If there's an I told you so in there, look at that. Look at it. Because it's okay to have someone that, just like and it was Angelica Houston's second autobiography called Watch Me, which, was a beautiful, beautiful book. I've read it a few times. I haven't read it in many years, but I read it a long time ago. And the story was that there was a very famous actor, maybe Brando, I want to say, that, Angelica, she had already done, modeling for Vogue. She'd done a few things. And he just goes, poor you, so much talent and nothing to show for it. It was 4444 when I said that. And she just internally just goes, watch me. So it is so okay to have an underdog story. But if all you want at the top is money to be like, ha ha, you don't have anything, you're going to have to help more and have a little bit more humility. I'm going to highlight Pam Gregory again. She just did a video on, I'm going to put the link to her page below because I'm quoting a few things of hers and I want to really highlight, like, that's one of my teachers. So I would love to include you in that teaching, all astrology. And she spoke of when we don't utilize the astrology, because we can choose, we have free will as human beings. You can choose right or left, right or wrong, up or down, left and right, whatever you think. Many times, and as a mystic, I've gone down on many a dark, scary corridors to come back and be like, no, don't go down there. Don't go down there. I know. I almost did some really crappy things. Just don't go down there. But so if we don't utilize the energy of the planets, and if we don't recognize what's being highlighted for us, it's like, I'll say what she had said. You say Uranus transits. Uranus is in your house of money and you think that you're impenetrable and all these good things and blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden you get fired and you're like, what the fuck? It's like, what was Uranus trying to tell you? What was Uranus trying to teach you? Where were all of those moments that you could have utilized more leadership mentalities, more personal growth and development? Where are you overstepping? Where are you like really... So I'm just going to say that. So we know better in many different ways. I don't want you to run from anything in any capacity. Don't run from anything. We're not ghosting anymore. We're not doing any of that. We're sovereign beings and we're facing things head on. Yeah, meetups, breakups, everything. We're facing it head on and look them right in the eyes. No... Happiness is meant to be shared. This can be like a lone wolf and he can't even handle all the frickin' sods that he's trying to take. So my Boston really is like trying to pop out today. It's really cute. And then I asked, like, I pulled 3 cards for like, what do we do about that? What's the medicine? Again, this is not a scary card. This is the Capricorn card. This is a Saturn card. This is not a scary card. But where are you repeating the same patterns? Where can you find like some softness, some gentleness? Like what's happening is biblical. It's written. It's meant to be. Literally, Pluto transits. US is having a Pluto return. That's the last time that happened was the fall of the Roman Empire. Like this is like, it's all written. It's all written. It's kind of funny because the little town that I live in, we're celebrating our 400th celebration. So we've outlived the life cycle of an empire. I know, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, Queen of Wands, she's divinely protected by that black cat. And she's got big dick energy. She's the only queen that sits with her legs spread. This is divine sexual energy. So I found that to be poignant based on my spooky, sexy Scorpio season video. And then what's underneath it all? You got things to do, honey. You got things to do. I'm going to leave you with this. This is about money. Yes, sir. You want me to act as if? Yes, sir. You want me to do all of these things? Yes, sir. But I can barely pay my bills. Okay. What do you have an abundance of? We all have an abundance of something. Whether it be the air that you're breathing. Do you have an abundance of coffee? Do you have an abundance of knowledge in a certain subject? What do you personally have an incredible abundance of? Are you an incredible baker and you bake the best cookies? Is there maybe a shelter, a local shelter that you can go and bake cookies and just bring cookies over there? Do you have a friend that you know is struggling, that you can just call them and listen and say, hey, what are you up to? I just thought about you and I love you and I care about you. I just wanted to know if you were doing okay. I'm happy to listen for a little while. I got like an hour. What's up? Do you have friends that have children? Can you go babysit them so that parent can take an hour off to do whatever they want? Whatever they want. Yeah. Yeah. I know that I am not meant for children in this life. I definitely know that that's not for me, but I have such an incredible respect for the people in my life that do have children. I am definitely one of the light workers that is here to help protect the preciousness of the children and their innocence. Let them be children. Just saying. Although I'm saying it's Scorpio season, let's get sexy out there. Stop sexualizing your children. Just saying. My Waking Up Post-Woke videos will highlight a little bit more of my feelings on that. I think that's it, y'all. That was a lot. I did not expect a channel to come through. It's literally pouring out of my eyes, ears, and nostrils. So I just want us to really be... It's powerful to have the eclipses happening on this axis. It's powerful. It's really powerful stuff that's going on right now. And so just, was it a Spice World quote? Hang on to your knickers, girls. Like, we don't know what's going on. You don't have to. Is there anything else? 5, 5, 7s? Nope. Anything else I want to... Oh my God, another medicine. It's like the beginning of a new intellect and beginning of a new understanding, a beginning of a new chapter, volume. I was just looking ahead at the next moon phase. It's a new moon in Scorpio at 20 degrees. It's in a few weeks. That's not until like November 13th. That's fascinating to me. Interesting. Yeah. Even just looking at my journal. Sorry, I've been recording for a little bit and I recognize that all of the lights have gone down. No, it's fine. I'll leave it. It just feels like this eclipse portal is like it's like the God of your understanding is just sending down like this massive water balloon of blessings. But has anyone ever been hit in the face by a massive water balloon? It doesn't really feel great. It doesn't. It's like a little fucking jarring and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And then you're just like covered in blessings and like beautiful divine light and you're just like, okay, but I'm like kind of can't see anything and I don't know what's going on. I'm just oh, Jesus God, I'm wearing this pretty dress and I'm covered in all these blessings. And it's like the universe and the astrology is just giving us like a few weeks to just kind of be like, okay, let's integrate. Let's just integrate some of this. Yeah, I think that's it, my dears. I think that's it. I appreciate every single one of you. And it's my honor and a pleasure to be here. It's an honor and a pleasure to just be at this table with you and be transcending time and space. It's just like to be here and to really have my soul contract and soul purpose be blossoming in front of all of your eyes is just an absolute joy. It's an absolute joy. So thank you so much for being here. I know this is a much longer video. Actually, it's not. I love what I get to do. I love it so much. And it is a privilege and an honor just to hold space for you. So please always reach out, always comment. I am trying so hard to just really be engaging with all of you in the chats and things. So I'm here for it. So any questions that you have for me, let us know where is this falling in your chart? Where is this falling in your chart? Like, this is in my 6th house of everyday life and practical service. Like, I'm in soul purpose. I'm in like taking a breather. Sun transiting right over here. Mars is over here, conjunct my natal Pluto. It's just like poof every day. It's just like all right. What new and exciting thing is going to happen for this soul contract? Now, what do we got? And it's like, if we look at it from the perspective of God, or from as high up underneath his umbrella as we can see, we can look at ourselves as a player in this reality. And really, it's not so much like, why do you think your soul came here? But when you look from above and you look at the role that you're playing within your reality, give it a name, give it a role. Are you the healer? Are you the leader? Or like anything. Because if you're here with me, you're pretty freaking magical. You're pretty freaking special. You are an absolute leader, and you have something really incredible to offer this world. I love you so much. All right, I'm tuckered out. I think that's it for today. And I'm going to get into it in all of the individual readings. And like I said, please comment below. There are links to donate. As always, that is the absolute best and most appreciated way. If you have no idea how to give back, please, my PayPal, my Venmo is always listed. And I have a Patreon for a monthly donation if you are ever interested. I think I have it listed as like $2 or something like that, $2-3. I think it's $3. I'm not sure. But if you're ever interested, like, that is always an option. And it just gives me the freedom to be able to record and do this on an absolute regular basis. It's my pleasure. And like I said, I'm taking a little bit of time away from doing one-on-ones for the weekend, and I won't be at my restaurant job for the weekend either. So please send me an email. You are never alone, and we can definitely set something up afterwards. But my heart and soul are there with you. I love you. Always here and always there for you. Ciao, ciao.